Alright, my name is Bill Jarrett. This is CIS 240, which is server management. We're using the MCTS guide to Microsoft Windows Server 2008 Active Directory Configuration Manual. We're doing exercise 2-10. I have to hurry because I've done this about 8 times now, and guess what? If the file size is too big, it craps on you. So I need to move really fast. We're going to do this by basically we're going to go into our run command here and type in CMD, say OK, and this brings us into the server core, which at this point we're going to try to basically change the default gateway, and create a static IP address and do a few other things. So before we can get started with any of this stuff, we need to find out certain pieces of information. So we'll start by typing in ipconfig/all space more. And this shows us all the information that we're looking for, most of the information we're looking for, which in this case I want the default gateway, which is 192.168.2.1, and I want my DNS servers, which is 24.116.2.50 and 34 respectively. Now these may be different on your machine, so we need to write them down. Okay, after we've got that, we can move on and actually look up our actual interfaces. So we would type in netsh interface IPv4, and we want it to show interfaces. Okay, and it shows us our interfaces, which are what we're looking for is the interface for local area connection. In this case, mine is 15. Again, yours may be different, so you need to look up the one for local area connection, and you want the index number, and you need to write that down. So now that we have those 3 pieces of information, we can move on. Now I'm going to show you a really quick tip as far as how to save a hell of a lot of typing. What we're going to do is, believe it or not, we can actually type this in, netsh, oops, try it again, netsh, and you notice it now changed the directory of netsh. And if you hit the question mark, there's certain commands available for it. So what we want to do is minimize our typing. So I want to go to interface. Now I also want to go to IPv4. These 3 pieces of information are used in every single command. That's why I'm switching it over. It saves me a ton of time typing. Every command, of course, is preceded by netsh interface IPv4. But since we've changed it to that directory, we don't have to worry about it. If we hit question mark, it shows us all the available commands. Alright, so now moving on. We want to do a few things real quick. We want to change a few pieces of information around. So you want to type in netsh interface IPv4, which we already have. And then we'll set the address for the interface that is known as name equals quote 15. Remember, we looked that up. So this is the interface that we want to configure or change, so to speak. So we're going to set the address for it. And then on the end of that, we want to tack on a space, and then source equals static address. And then another equal sign, 192.168.100.1xx. That X is supposed to be your student ID number. Since we have no student ID numbers, I'm just going to choose to be student number 1. So I'm 101. So put a space, mask, equals, and of course this is a Class C subnet mask, so you put in 255.255.255.0, space, gateway, equals 192.168.100.1. This is what the book wants me to put. So we're changing a bunch of things around. So as you can see, we're setting the address for local area connection, which is known as number 15. We're setting the source to be static address 192.168.100.101 with the subnet mask of 255.255.255.0 and our default gateway to 192.168.100.1. And you'll see all this stuff happen very soon. As you can see, it took it, no problems at all. So now that we've done that, I'll prove this all in a minute. I want to look at changing our DNS server information. So we've already typed in netsh interface IPv4. So what we want to do is add DNS server. Name, and again, equals, we're talking about number 15, right? And then the address, my fat fingers are not working right, equals, so my DNS server is going to be 192.168.100.200. Okay, and I want its index to be 1. Because the reason why I would do that is because let's say I have multiple DNS servers that I want to add. I can repeat these commands again. Add DNS server. If I can get my fingers to work right. Server. Again, name equals 15. Address equals 192.168.100.225 will be my second one. And we'll say that index equals 2. It says something's wrong. It says a parameter is incorrect. So let's see where I messed up. Oh, I'm not quite sure. I need to figure it out. I'll try it one more time. Add DNS server name equals 15. Address equals, I think I see where I messed up. I put a minus sign. 192.168.100.255. Index equals 2. Okay, it took it that time. Now remember the old rule from my daddy. It says measure twice, cut once. Here's where I messed up. I put a minus sign instead. So how am I going to prove all this works? Well, obviously if I type in ipconfig from here, it's not going to work because we need to go back to our original location. So the way how we get back there is we type exit. Okay, now if we take a look in here and we say ipconfig space /all space more. We can see that all this information has in fact changed as promised. Now our default gateway is in fact 192.168.100.1, and you'll notice we have 4 DNS servers because what we did is we actually added 2 more on top of that. Now you can actually remove DNS servers by simply changing add to delete, and I'll show you how to do that real quick before we leave because I got to change all my stuff back anyways. So netsh interface, that's right, IPv4, we're going to say delete DNS server name equals 15, and then the address of whatever DNS server I want to get rid of. I'm going to get rid of 192.168.100.200. Okay, it looks like it took it. Now I'm going to run ipconfig all /all more. Okay, now if we look, we can see that one of our IP addresses is now gone. That's the one that I just took out. So I got rid of one of those DNS servers. We go back up here to the top. We can see that I removed 200, and 200 was previously in the list. Now it's no longer in the list. So that's how you delete a DNS server. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and we'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye.